So conceptually, right now, an atheist headquarters is simply a magnificent place that provides a community service. So it supersedes religion on two fronts. It's going to be more impressive than cathedrals, and it's going to be a better community than their community living. And that's all we've got right now so far. But after watching, and I think you should, this 1 hour long talk on the cognitive weaknesses of humans, and I've linked to it in the description box, that religion uses, I think that you'll see that we have a few other things that we may want to beat religion on with the atheist headquarters. Because right now, say take the flying spaghetti monster, or typical atheist behavior. What we do is we intellectually dominate them by understanding reality and conveying it to them, and we ridicule them by using things like the flying spaghetti monster. And domination and ridicule are kind of things that bullies would do, and atheists really aren't bullies. We're intending to make this place better and to make a world that's more adapted to humanity and better for all humans. So that being understood, we need to not simply beat them architecturally and build stronger communities, but we need to also create those feelings that they get through their supernatural fantasies. And let's talk about those real quick. Have you wondered why Catholics have such detailed images of pain in their buildings, right? So, for instance, the cross. Crucifixion looks like torture, right? It looks like a Republican thought it up. Now, and of course Republicans consistently move back to it and think of it time and time again, and the reason is that they have empathy that they've choked out in real life. Don't give anyone welfare or anything, but that they have in this bright spiritual life, so they can have empathy for these imaginary creatures without any of the duties of having empathy for real living people. Now, when you understand that, imagine if we had great artwork, Renaissance and above, strong symbolic artwork of the atheists that have been tortured by the religious, so in the name of religion, or just the scientists that have. So, I don't know, Galileo not being allowed out to play with his friends. But, other actual instances, so apostates that have been killed, maybe Theo Van Gogh with a bullet wound in his chest. If we have those sorts of images going out there, and we manage them properly, we can use that empathy to work towards more atheist headquarters and better functioning ones that serve the community, and that also fill in that need of people to have empathy even when they can't necessarily express it for other people. Now, I don't think that's going to work against other social support things that people will do. People will still work for charity, and people will still do good things. But this way they can have empathy at a cheap cost, and we can sell that just as well as religion, and we might be able to do it better. So picture like more detailed torture than the Catholics can even. And that's probably a bad thing, because Catholics actually are too willing to torture. That's unfair. I don't know what religion the CIA Republicans were. Now let's talk about empathy and something good and wholesome. And that's another thing religion does in an interesting way. So call me Father Variable or brother in science, right? And when you do that kind of thing, I'm not asking you to necessarily, but we need to give it some thought, put some thought behind it, because when they do that, they pull you into the community, but they also, especially with the use of supernatural and imaginary friends and agents, they put in you the feeling that you're constantly with somebody that cares, a companion, a lover for many people. Mother Teresa loved Christ and thought of marriage, had marriage fantasies. A father to you, a relative, a community member that cares about you and is going to look out for you and cares about everything you do. We need to replace that with people that at least give people that impression during times of danger. So So let me explain that. So let's say that somebody has a terrible accident or something, and they are going to turn to religion because they need somebody with them, and they feel terrible, and none of their family is spending much time or whatever. Now, obviously, the best thing that could happen would be family members and community members step in and really care so that they feel that genuinely. But in the real world, I think that you know that there are instances when somebody will not have access to people that will show them that they care and will put their actions where their mouths are. So, given that constraint, perhaps an atheist headquarters could provide some sort of manufactured or imagined care that the same way that religion does, only better. And maybe it would be in things like this video. So even if I don't know you or don't know your particular situations, I care about your situation. I really sincerely hope that you get through this all right and you're going to be okay. And I'm looking out for you, and all of us really are pulling with you through this. So there's the kind of thing that we could do, but I don't know if it's as good as religion, because it needs to get inside people's heads as a meme, kind of like a caring godfather would for the religious. Anyway, I think that there's room for multiple atheist headquarters kind of facilities, because there's room for different flavors of religions, and atheism is better than religion and can be better than religion in every way, because it is about truth and religion is about falsehood. And I don't see any end to the things that we can't take from them, the memes that we can't improve upon. So watch this hour-long talk and consider the cognitive weaknesses and defects that all humans have, and try and figure out how we can serve those better without any false beliefs leaking into the message, and without any social harm or consequence coming from it, the way that religion quite clearly, I think, does have. So, and if you're religious and you're going to object to this kind of thing, then the first thing you could do is just say, all right, I don't think religion has all those harmful things, so I'm going to work to make sure that that's the case by, say, trying to communicate to the Taliban that their expansion in Pakistan is inappropriate and they need to calm down, or that at least, a secular government is important, or communicate to gay bashers that perhaps equal rights is overdue and eminently appropriate. So that's what you can do if you're religious. Go and tend to your own flock. This is me communicating with other atheists about how we can recreate the feelings that you guys have had a monopoly on because you've been willing to flight into fantasy and we haven't been. Now, let's not go into fantasy, but let's figure out how to do this and do it right. Peace and progress. So, P.